Hello, welcome to Board Games with Niramas. I'm Joseph and I'm here today with Draco, and we are playing a two-player game of Terraforming Mars in co-op mode because this is my own design. I designed my own variant for my favorite game, Terraforming Mars. So we're playing a co-op mode and, well, I'm going to explain how this works. This is not a gameplay video, I will not sort of play. I set things up here so to give you an idea of how it could look. I do have these lovely plastic thingies 3D printed on my colonies now. I'm really happy about those. Just got them. And we have little cute Draco meeple over here, and he has his board here, he has his cards. I have, so he's playing in Mining Guild in this example. I'm Point Luna, I have my board here. And don't start worrying about the stuff here because it's all fake, I just set it up. Anyhow, in the co-op mode, well, the idea is basically, so first of all, some people, especially couples playing two-player games, they don't like to sort of play against each other and attack each other with you know, asteroids and all that, and compete against each other. They might find it more fun and more comfortable to play a co-op game together, but they, you know, you still allow Terraforming Mars, you still want to play Terraforming Mars, well then you can play it in a co-op environment. Also, I would like to say I have a lot of respect for the designer, Jacob Frixelius, that designed this game. So my ambition in my endeavor here to do a co-op variant has been to change as little as possible, because this game has been designed by a good designer and the whole Frixelius family, and they have been playtesting it and all that. So instead of just, I mean, I'm not going to revamp a lot of stuff. That wouldn't feel right for me. What I've done here is basically, this is a two-player solo game. In its sense, you're playing because we have all the expansions out here, so you're playing to 12 generations, 14 if you don't have a prelude. You know, you're trying to beat the game in the sense that you want to terraform everything before the game time is up. So how do you transform this into a two-player experience? Well, basically everything is doubled up. So we start off, we have a little marker over here to indicate we have a TR together. So when we get to the income phase, we will split that for the money. In this case, when it's not equal, whoever has the least money, when you have split it up, gets 1 extra credit to just balance it out. So you start on 28 instead of 14 TR. You have a common TR, you have the common goal and all that. You could of course play with any two boards. In my case, I got myself an extra Hellas and Elysium so I can have it like this because I think it looks so cool. Of course you could play with a basic board and any combination you like, but you're going to use two boards. For water, because I don't have the double water tiles, I just use the blue player's cubes to indicate 9 water tiles over here. So we have 2 temperature meters, 2 oxygen meters. We still, though, only have 1 Venus board, of course. And we have 5 colonies, just like in the normal two-player game. It's 5 in a two-player game. We have the first player marker, which is just awesome. This promo thingy that Martin painted. I just think this looks so nice. And keep an eye out on the channel in the near future, because there will be painted promo curiosities that you can win in giveaways coming up as we hit 3,000 subscribers and so on. Anyhow, that was just some, yeah. Anyhow, the variant works like, basically, when it's your turn, let's say that you do a action of spending 8 heat to raise the temperature. You can choose which board you want. But if you have a card that gives you 2 temperature raises, they both have to go to the same board. That's my rule so far. Same goes for, let's say you have something that gives you, both an oxygen and a temperature. Well, it all has to go to the same board. You have to interact with the same board. But between the cards, as you play another card, then you can go switch over and do something on the other board. The placement rules are just as normal. If I'm not represented here, I can place a greenery anywhere I want. If I am represented here, I have to place next to the tile that I already have. All that is standard rules. The requirements, that's something I want to bring up, because that could be a bit tricky. Let's say you have this one that requires you to have 3 oceans out. In this case, there has to be 3 oceans on each board for making this card count. Otherwise, it gets too easy. In this case, well, we'll talk about that later. In this case, when you need to have 2 science tags, that goes only for you. You're not co-oping in that way. You still have separate player boards, separate corporations, separate hands. As the game starts, you get your normal setup with the sort of, place out the city and the greenery, 2 on each board. You get your 10 cards, which are you keep. That's your 10 cards. And you're not allowed to show them to your opponent, or not your opponent, sorry, your cooperative player. That's the proper term. But you can talk about it. You can say like, okay, I'm going to raise temperature here probably. That's okay, but you're not allowed to show the other player your cards, because you could try to play it like that if you find it more fun, but I think it gets too easy then, because then basically, it gets too easy. You can tweak this up and down. Some people might want to think this is too easy. Some people think this is too hard, and so on. The world government is only going to happen just like normal, one world government, and you can go on any board you like. The requirements for, let's say, 4 degrees plus on temperature, then it has to be 4 on both the boards. So you want to keep a balance. As you move these up, you want to balance it out. If you didn't have it that way, then you could just rush one of them just to be able to play anything you want, right? So the same goes for oxygen. If there's an oxygen demand, both boards have to meet the demand for you to play it. Then we have some cards. There is some cards that will have to be a bit, you have to change them up a bit. So for example, Arctic algae. If you play this like normal, you will all of a sudden have an opportunity to get 18 times 2, so 36 plants, and that is not balanced. So Arctic algae in this variant, you just remove one of those. So when you place an ocean, or when an ocean is placed, you don't have to place it yourself, you get 1 plant, which means you get the same amount of plants as normal by the end of the game, but Arctic algae is sort of nerfed a little bit. There might be other cards that needs to be nerfed or needs to be changed in some ways. In that case, I really ask you to, if you try this out, which I think you should because it's really fun, then if you find these weird situations where, well, it doesn't really add up, you need to do something about it, please tell me in the comment section, or send me an email, or send me a message on BoardGameGeek at Niramas, so that we can sort of together balance that stuff out. And I will post as this video comes out, I will also post a variant post on the forum for Terraforming Mars on BoardGameGeek with some rules there as well. So you can check that out, you can print it out if you want to have it next to the board. But it's really easy. Basically, if you've been playing solo in this game, you will feel right at home, because this is a double solo in most aspects. One more thing that we need to talk about is when we draw the 4 cards in between turns. There's 2 variants here. Either you could go for, you have your 4 cards and you draw off like normal. That's one option. I tried that. The other option I have tried is that you take 8 cards and you put them out here on display. And then you can talk to each other and decide who should have which cards. You can right away see that, oh, nobody's going to have this because you can't even play it. We're going to discard that. Okay, so maybe Draco wants this one because he really needs, he has some titanium, he needs to draw a card. Okay, Draco takes that, then he has to pay for it, of course, as usual. The problem with using this mode is that it might make it too easy as well, because then you can get the perfect information. The problem with having a draft like normals, taking one passing, is that then it might take a long time, because you have to discuss like, okay, well, you can't show it to each other, but then do you need this kind of card? You need to do that. I've tried both variants, and I must say that I think the most fun has been to have 8 cards out on display, and then you can discuss it, and it really goes smooth as well. Might be too easy. You have to try it out for yourself. We did win the times that we played a few times, and we did win. Might have been too easy, I'm not sure. But yeah, let's balance it out. If you're interested in trying it out, and then just contributing with some feedback on how it went in your game, that would be awesome. Because I think this is really fun. And as I said, a lot of people that love Terraforming Mars, well, maybe you want some variation, or maybe you just want to play it with someone that doesn't want to play competitive, and then it's nice to be able to play it co-op mode. You could, I guess, in theory, you could play this with 3 players or 4 players in some way as well, but I haven't gone into that extent. I'm just focusing here on 2 players and having 2 boards playing double solo, but with the sort of added thingy of you can interact with both boards. You're not playing one board each, and you can also discuss things and so on, which help each other out, help each other plan out what should we do now, what is most important, where should we go, and so on. So that is Terraforming Mars, the co-op variant from Niramas. I hope that you will try it out, and if you do, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening or morning, or whenever you're watching this. Take care. Bye bye.
Be like Draco. Follow Board Games with Niramas on Facebook at BGW Niramas. Board Games with Niramas is sponsored by Alara Games in Sweden.